Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to this special holiday version of the Week in Review. We're going to take a quick look back at Week 12 before we get started with Week 13 later on this afternoon with our Thanksgiving Day games. The closest game of the week was between the Sheboygan Headbangers and the Chili Dogs. The Headbangers pulled a big upset and won 91-88. The Headbangers were led by T.O. He had a big day, 213 and a 75-yard touchdown, receiving touchdown. He put 4 others in double digits. The Chili Dogs also had 5 in double digits. They were led by Peyton Manning again with 20 points on 255 yards with 2 passing touchdowns. Another close game. Mr. Bill's gang topping Master Killer 88-83. In this one, Mr. Bill had 3 in double digits, including 27 from the other Manning, Eli, on 240 and 3 passing touchdowns. Meanwhile, Master Killer was led by 23 from Lance Moore. And that one, Moore needed like 30 points or something like that to make that comeback win on Monday night. I never thought it was possible. He had over 100 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns in the first half. I thought it was a lock for the Master Killer, but nothing in the second half, and they end up falling to Mr. Bill's gang. We had 2 teams in triple digits. We had 2 teams break the century mark, and we had a new high score. Big Daddy had 113 to Cats with Guns 63. Big Daddy using half of the Cats roster from those trades from last week. Led by 32 from Randy Moss with 125 receiving and 3 touchdowns. Cats had only 2 in double digits. One of those was 31 points from Tony Romo, throwing the ball downfield to T.O. So Big Daddy, all but 3 teams have been a high score at least once this year in the Peanut Butter Jelly Time League. The other triple digit was from the Pitons. They scored 105 to Super Simon 64. They were led by Matt Castle, another 400-yard, back-to-back 400-yard days for Matt Castle. 415 through the air with 3 touchdowns. He also added a rushing score for that 45 points. Forte had 26, Rookie of the Year candidate. 64 for Super Simon, led by 22 from Steve Smith on 168 yards, receiving no touchdowns in that one. A big game in the Quagmire division saw Loose Cannons fall to the Rockers 97-88. In this one, the Loose Cannons had 4 players going in Monday night, jumped out to a huge 18 points in the first 16-17 minutes of that game, cutting it very close. They were unable to come up with any points in the third quarter. And then even right down to the end, all it would have taken was 1 bomb to Donald Driver, and this outcome would have been much different. But the Rockers hold on 97. They were led by Pigpen again with 240 through the air, 3 touchdown passes. He got pulled in the fourth quarter. Otherwise, he probably would have gone over 300 and had another touchdown. Tony Gonzalez had 19 in that game, including 2 touchdowns. And Aaron Rodgers led the way with 26 points for the Cannons. And finally, the Pilot Lights 85 to the Monkeys 63. Pilot Lights were led by Drew Brees again in that Monday night game. 323 yards through the air, 4 passing touchdowns, including 2, count them, 2 70-yarders. The Monkeys had 3 in double digits, and they were led by Kurt Warner with 18 points. So we can see that it's definitely a holiday. We got Owen still in his PJs. We got beef cooking in the kitchen. We're headed down to the in-laws soon with some more cooking in store, and then a lot of eating and drinking and having fun. We got the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on TV. We're going to take a quick look ahead to this week's coming games. And we got some big ones, big playoff implications. Chili Dog, Master Killers. Chili Dogs can clinch their division with a win this week. Chili Dogs fell to number 2 in the power rankings this week, and with their loss, and the Rockers went back to number 1. Pilot Lights, Cats with Guns. Let's see. A win by the Pilot Lights clinched the division. A win by the Cats tied the division, bringing it down to the last game next week. Super Simon, Loose Cannons. Loose Cannons must win this week to stay in the divisional hunt. Super Simon must win this week to stay in the wild card hunt. Loser of that game, it's got a tough road to hoe. Let's see, what do we got? Pitons and Clash City Rockers. Rockers clinched Quagmire Division with a win and a loose cannon loss. So the Rockers still have a little ways to go. I think possibly wild card, at least clinch a playoff spot with a win in that one. Sheboygan Headbangers, Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill must win to stay in the wild card hunt, and they must get some help from Loose Cannons and the Pilot Lights. And then finally, the Monkeys and Big Daddy, they're both eliminated from the playoffs, so who really cares who wins that game? Last but not least, Pick'ems. The Rockers go 3-3 this week to hold on to the lead with, what do we got? Standings. You're going to have to trust me on that one. Rockers is still in first place, 43. Pitons in second place. They also went 3-3 with 40. And the Pilot Lights with 36. Everybody else is pretty much out of that one. And so, like I said, everybody, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week. Adios.